Welcome to the chase, where dissents are
Didn't give them very long there, did you? You got a little bit of the song.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I'm just. I still don't know if we're streaming or not.
I can see it.
Why can't I? That's bizarre.
Yeah, I can definitely see it, and even at Beats and Tapes in the chat. Yeah, we're there. Trust me, we're there.
Okay. Well, we are here for the Scottish debate. Has it started yet?
Probably, but before we get into it, boys and girls, I don't even know why there is a Scottish leadership debate. It doesn't make any sense. But here we are. We're going to have 5 Scottish parties go head to head. Are you capturing the website directly, John?
Yeah, I will be.
Yeah. Okay. For Scottish people during the nationwide general election, but
Oh, fuck off. What's this pish?
I was asking you if you've got a TV license, John.
Of course I don't.
Well, don't do that on screen. Pull that off, right? And do that bit yourself, right? So that they don't see what you might or might not be doing. And ladies and gentlemen,
and your family's future.
Here we go.
A vote for the Scottish Greens is a vote to tackle the climate crisis.
Isn't she?
No
She's
new
Irish.
drilling for oil and gas.
No, she's Canadian.
And a switch to 100% renewable energy.
Yeah, she's not even Scottish.
It's a vote to make the wealthiest contribute more, to invest in our schools, hospitals and buses. It's a vote to build on our work that has already lifted
She's the only woman tonight,
children in
folks.
Scotland out of poverty. The Tories, SNP and Labour have let you down. We are offering an alternative.
Oh, there
one
is a
that
sixth
builds
podium.
A greener and more equal future.
Did they
Vote
shoehorn in
like your
Alex Salmon
future
at the last
depends
minute?
on it. Vote for the Scottish Greens.
I don't know why
Thank
we're
you,
not getting
Laura.
the full
Let's
screen.
hear next this evening from the leader of Scottish Labour, Anas Sarwar.
Oh, Enos says what?
It's Ennis
In
says
just
what?
over 3 weeks, we can finally get rid of this rotten Tory
Get
government.
rid. Get
That's
rid.
an opportunity Scotland can't
Trust me,
afford to
Scotland
miss.
only want to
A
get
Labour
rid of
government
you.
will end tax loopholes for the super rich, so we put more money into our NHS
Get
and
rid.
cut waiting times.
Get rid.
We'll lower bills for
The
good.
Canadian
by having
Scottish
our
woman
own
is
energy
Lorna
company,
Slater. She
headquartered
is
here in Scotland,
That's right.
owned by
head
you.
of the Scottish
And we'll
Green
make work
Party.
pay by giving a
So,
pay
of course,
rise to
she's
more than
Canadian and a crank.
200,000 Scots.
Oh, she's
We
a
can't
fruit.
risk
Fruit
another
Loop.
5 years of the Tories.
Well, Anna's
So
here. He
every
looks like a
vote for
Fruit
Scottish
Loop
Labour
also, to be
is a
to
vote
be
to
fair.
make sure we get rid of the Tories, to put Scotland at the heart of a
A
Labour
vote for
government.
Scottish
and to
Labour
deliver the
means you'll
change
end up
our
in
country
socialism. Aye.
Thank you, Anas. Let's hear next this evening from the leader of the Scottish Conservatives, Douglas Ross.
I want this election and the next 5
Wee
years
Dougie
to be
Ross.
all about
Here's
delivering
wee Dougie.
action on the
Wee
issues that
Dougie.
really matter to you.
Dougie
Making
Ross.
good jobs, cutting tax, reducing NHS waiting lists, fixing the roads.
All of this
investing
stuff you
in
say you want
schools.
to do, but
And in many seats
where
across
was it the
Scotland,
last
it's a
14
state
years?
fight between my party and the SNP.
Well, we Dougie Ross hasn't been able to do anything.
They'll claim
well,
every
no,
seat
but
as
he's part of a
mandate
party that
for
have been saying for the
independence.
last 14 years they're
They'll
going to
be
do that,
distracted
who have
from the
been in
local
power.
issues you care
So-
about most.
We
So in key seats
the,
up and down
look at the state of the podiums.
Everyone who wants to
We
be
Dougie
president
Ross is I think he avoided paying £30,000 worth of tax. Good on you, Dougie.
Good on you, Dougie.
Yeah, tax avoidance, remember, is completely legal.
John, you're extremely loud. I don't know what it's like for the audience, but
No, that
Meh.
well,
First
that'll
Minister
probably
of
be
Scotland,
you.
the leader of the SNP, John Swinney.
okay, here we go.
Spending
John
cuts,
Swinney.
Brexit and the cost of living have all hit people hard. Each is a
I don't like
product
this
of
guy.
decisions made in Westminster.
I think I'm
As
going to
your
try
First Minister, I
capturing the
want to
screen
deliver
again.
The best future for Scotland. The SNP has doubled frontline funding for the NHS.
Yeah, doubled it.
The
expanded
SNP has
childcare,
also brought
and
in a hate
protected
crime
free
law
tuition
that
and
will
free
put you in
scholarships.
prison for having a
But
joke.
Westminster still holds
Shalini
most of
says,
Scotland's
John's
purse
fine, you're
strings.
quiet.
Independent experts are warning that Labour and the Conservatives
But you'll have
are
to
not
turn me
being
up on
straight
your
with
end.
you about massive spending cuts.
I don't
that are
control
to
your
come.
audio, mate.
We're arguing for no more cuts and to
You
reverse
control your own
Brexit
audio.
so we can
But
raise
it's
living
going in at a high
standards.
volume, that's why I'm not turning it
Independence
up.
would give us the power
Oh,
to
okay.
address all
Check
of
your
these
Windows
issues.
settings that it hasn't
So
turned your
vote
mic
SNP to
down
put
like it
Scotland's
did with
interests
mine.
first. Vote for a future made in Scotland.
Swinney's the First Minister.
Thank you.
First Minister, don't
Last
you know?
but not least this evening, let's hear from the leader of the Scottish Liberal Democrats, Alex Cole-Hamilton.
I don't understand this though, because
People ask why I'm
these
always
guys
why
aren't
when
standing
politics
in
is such a
Parliament.
serious business, the Liberal Democrats seem to enjoy it so much. Well, the simple reason is we
He's
love what
very
we do,
English.
serving our community.
Yeah, well, he's a Scottish Liberal. He'll probably be from the
In the next
borders.
Parliament,
He'll probably be
we'll
from
working
across the
for a
border.
better Britain to
Oh
restore
yeah,
your faith
south of the
in
wall.
politics,
South of the
Yeah.
wall.
fix
South
our
of the
broken
wall.
relationship
Alpha.
with Europe. We'll get you fast
Ah, yeah.
access to GPs and dentists.
Is that
and
louder?
give our nation's carers a fair deal.
Am I
Go
louder
on.
now?
Sewage being
Am
dumped
I
in
louder
corridors
now?
and
Is he louder now?
world-class
Am I louder
education.
now?
Only the Scottish Liberal Democrats can beat the SNP in huge swathes
I've
of
turned up my
Scotland,
main
from
mix, is what I've
Cooper
done.
To Cape Wrath, from Mulgai to Mallaig, Crummond to Kirkwall.
Oh,
Hope and change
God.
are just around the corner. You only need to vote for them.
You've no chance of winning.
Now it's over to our audience. We want to make the
Ah,
most
the
of
six
the rest of
podiums
this
for
hour.
you, is
So I'd
it?
ask you to
That's
keep
Stephen
your answers
Jordan.
focused, please, here this evening, and to show respect.
Apparently
to
I'm
each
louder
other
now, a
and
little
the
louder.
audience as well
Cool,
by not
cool.
talking over.
Right,
I mean,
bear
I can
with
do
me.
that as
First
well.
question this
I can turn it
evening,
up.
Bear with me.
You literally turned it off at the first question.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
I mean, you kind of got to worry
Shut
about
up!
Thank you, Janice. John Swinney.
Well, a number of the things that we've already done, Janice, are helping with the cost of living, whether that's about the provision of free
I
prescriptions,
guess
for
it's about the
example,
cost of
or
living.
the
Okay, it's just a
support that we
stupid
give to
question,
university
you know.
students to go
What
through
are you going to do
university
to help
without
us
paying
to
tuition
get to
fees.
pay for our
We're
groceries?
taking additional
Oh, what I'm
measures
going to do is I'm going to
focus
put you in
directly
prison for a
on the
joke and
cost
then
of
give
the
you
school day,
slop
for
3
example.
times
We're
a
trying to
day.
reduce that for school children and for families. And the Scottish Child Payment, which we put in place because we were prepared to increase taxes within Scotland to get higher earners to pay more in taxation, is keeping 100,000 children out of poverty within Scotland, and a lot of those children.
I don't think
will be
it's
in
fair to
families
make
of
higher
where
earners pay more
parents are
tax.
working, but they're not earning enough to provide sufficiently for their families.
Well, higher earners automatically pay
Well,
more
the-
tax
the
because
Scottish
tax is a
Child Payment has
percentage.
been increased
Yeah,
to
well,
20
that's
So
it.
why do you need to have them pay a higher percentage when they're
That's what
already
I'm-
paying more?
That's what I mean. I don't think they should be paying a higher percentage.
What do you mean, while they're... Shut up, Spencer. You don't need subtitles. You're just being the dork. Dork.
Yeah, but to be fair, they need subtitles for you most days, so...
Shut it.
Directly into families and households.
I might sound like
to support
Shrek. You
those
fucking
families
look
facing
like him.
difficulty. And of course, that's in addition to
No,
some
you
of
know,
the
you
other
look
work
like
that
him
we've done,
too.
for
Don't
example,
worry.
writing off the-
You don't just sound like
debt
him.
that exists around about
Don't look
school-
like
free
Shrek.
school meals, where, families have debts
I'm
about school
joking.
meals. We've written those off to make sure that there's direct
can't stand
support
this
going
guy.
to
He's-
individual households.
He's creepy.
So
He's
we
like
want
a...
to make sure
he's
that
like
the
a Joe
measures we
Biden.
take within the
Imagine him,
Scottish
like,
government
just
are
creeping
feeding
out from under your
directly
bed.
into family
Hello there,
budgets.
John.
But what
It's
worries me
me
about what
from the
lies ahead
SNP.
is that
Oh,
it's
the
threat
phantom
that
panty
most
snatcher
will
of
affect our
Dundee
ability
Town.
to do that. And independent
See you,
experts say
see
there
you,
will be 18
Dougie
billion
Ross.
pounds of
Don't
cuts
you be
after
doing
this
that.
election, whether the Conservatives or the Labour Party form the
He
government.
does,
And we have
Shalini.
to
That's...
say
I
no
didn't
to
want to say that on
Say
air.
I'm
no
not
to
gonna
that
say it.
By voting for the Scottish National
Well,
Party.
let's give Douglas Ross a chance to respond to that.
Dougie.
Janice,
Come on,
it's
Dougie.
a hugely important issue. We have gone
It's
through
an issue.
global events that have been a real strain on our economy, and it's had a
On
huge
the
impact
economy?
on
No,
people
no,
in this
no,
room and
no,
people across
Dougie.
the country.
We've gone through
If we look
global
at the
events
COVID
that were
pandemic and
caused
the
by
war
the
in
governments
Ukraine,
of the
there has
day.
been a
And
massive
Well,
Dougie-
hold on. Let's see if
not only our
Dougie's...
domestic,
Let's see if Dougie's on a
economy, but
positive or a
economies
negative.
across the globe. And the government at a UK level have tried to provide some universal support and some targeted support. And
For the-
this
for the
election,
people that they
we've seen
absolutely
UK
crushed with
Conservatives
their
national
policies.
insurance
No,
in both the
but
opening
hold on.
statement and
The only
Scottish
targeted
Government
and universal support the
to do something
government have
further
supplied have been
going
to
forward,
Ukraine.
Because I think by allowing
yeah.
people to keep more of their own money in their own pockets, that helps them through these difficult times. But we are not through.
I'd like to
the
keep
most
some more of my own money in my own
I'd like to
pocket.
have
that
some.
We all as parties focus
I'd
on
like to have some to
helping
keep, John.
individuals, families
Yeah.
and communities. Now, we may take different approaches to that, but I think there will be agreement that this has been a particularly difficult period for people across the
Caused
country. and
by
there's more to
your
do.
party,
And that's why
Dougie.
when I was making my introductory
I
remarks,
did have a
was
haircut,
focusing on the
yes.
issues that really matter to people. and that is improving our public services by making sure there's the opportunity for people to see a local GP, to see investment in their local area, to grow the economy, to make sure that we have more money to spend on our public services here in Scotland, and to help people through the difficult and challenging times that they're facing.
This guy is just a twat, isn't he?
Who, Diggy?
Yeah.
He's alright. He's alright.
No, he's
He's
not.
He's way better than Hamza.
John Swinney says there's an extra 18.
Oh, here we go. Enos Sarwar.
Come on, Enos, what you got for us?
No, and let me say unequivocally, there will be
Oh.
no austerity under a Labour government. We saw the
Unequivocally.
consequences of Tory austerity on this country and how it devastated local budgets. And we also saw the consequences.
Lorna Slater's been. Lorna Slater was actually in government
But the reason
because
why this issue is so
Hamza and the Greens were in cahoots
actually, this
together.
election campaign
So what happened was Lorna Slater was the joint leader of the Green Party, so therefore had massive say in the policies, and that's why Scotland's been run into the ground.
household bills
By a Canadian!
are up 20%.
A Canadian promoting green energy.
A Canadian promoting green energy and a man who
are skipping meals,
supported
predominantly mums, skipping meals
Palestine
in order to put food on the table.
More than anything, yeah.
more than he
I hold
supported his own
directly
country.
this
Yeah.
Conservative government and the economic
I have no
chaos
idea why there's a
from which
Canadian
Scotland
standard.
is
See, this is the problem with this country. There's nothing to bar someone who isn't a citizen from standing, is there?
First, we're gonna make
No, there's
work
not.
pay,
I mean, we
and
had
that
an
means giving a
American
pay
Prime
rise to
Minister.
over 200,000
Well, we did, yeah.
Scots,
Aye.
including 32,000 people in Glasgow alone to make work pay and deliver a genuine living wage. Secondly, we're going to impose a windfall tax on the
So you're
oil
going to
and gas giants
impose
who are making
Oh.
wage
record
increases.
profits.
Hold on.
Use that money to lower people's bills and invest in the jobs of the future. That would raise £10 billion.
Yeah, of course it will.
Shockingly,
Yeah, it
that the
won't.
SNP
No, I know it won't, because they'll just not
although
pull the
budget
oil out of the
was
ground.
taxes
John
on
Swinney?
working people.
Well,
If you just
twat.
let me finish that point, sorry. And then thirdly, what we want to do
John Swinney.
is also invest in the jobs of the future and deliver economic stability. Because
What
if we
jobs of
deliver
the
economic
future? There won't be
stability,
any jobs
we
in
can
the
bring down
future.
the cost of people's mortgage, we can bring down the cost of people's weekly food bill.
How?
And we can also invest in the public
How are
services
you going to do this,
make sure
Enos?
every single person across this
all right,
city
John
is
Swinney.
Well, he just said what he's going to
problem with
do.
what
He's going
Anas
to
has
raise
said
the minimum
there
wage,
is
which
that
means more people will end up out of work.
experts, the
Yeah.
Institute for Fiscal Studies,
And
the
then
Institute
do a
for
windfall
Government,
tax.
the
Apparently,
Joseph
that's what you do.
Foundation
That's
all
what you
say
do.
There are £18 billion worth of cuts that the Conservative government plan, which the Labour Party has accepted because they have accepted the fiscal discipline that the
So,
fiscal rules the Tories are putting in.
What I am going to say briefly while he's talking absolute nonsense,
They're
because
all
he's
talking
talking
nonsense.
He's talking finance, and he doesn't have a Scooby about finance. So anyway, what I'm going to say is, if you've come here looking to listen to the debate without our pithy comments, then you're in the wrong place, because we will be talking all the way through it. So, fair warning, if you want to listen to it, go somewhere else.
Has anybody made note that they would wish to then?
No, it's just someone commented on the last debate that there was too much talking. Well, tough. That's the whole purpose of these live streams, is for us to talk over them, because they're talking shite.
Yes, they are.
On, there's going to have to be £18 billion worth of cuts, and that's going to put a lot of people's
Absolutely
lights
not
off.
true.
And you've got to be straight with the public
no, John.
about the cuts
No,
that Labour
John.
are signing
Why
up
not?
Pull
to.
your neck on, you
Fiscal
turkey
constraints.
gobbling
That
twat.
is
No, hang
bad
on a
news for the
second.
people of this
No,
country.
shut up your ball bag. No.
He looks like a bollock. Doesn't he?
On the 2 points that we've heard from Anas and John here. First of all,
The
to
errant
be honest,
bollock
the
John
public
Swinney.
across Scotland is he has made Scotland the highest tax part of the United Kingdom.
Yes.
Earning less than £30,000
Tomorrow, I think the Toolmaker's on, isn't he?
Yeah.
The exact same
Toolmaker bingo.
To
Right
make
here.
a bingo right here
Tomorrow.
night.
poorer as a result. And on Anas's
well,
point, well, if I can just finish.
Enos? What's Enos saying?
Anas's point about on Anas's
Oh, it's there it goes. It's all going.
Get the
It's
bucket
all-
out!
We were in a
It's
debate
all
this afternoon
going
where
to
I said
pot.
The Scottish Child Payment has made a difference, but there's an awful lot more we can do. We discussed a quarter of 1 million children in Scotland living in poverty. We on Annis's point, just on energy.
Drive it up.
Energy, what he's not being honest and telling people is his plans for the oil and gas sector will put at risk 100,000 jobs.
Not true.
Those are jobs right across Scotland, including here in Glasgow.
All right, we're talking.
No, I think that is true, actually.
It is true, yeah.
Yeah, you put a windfall tax on the oil and gas industry, you'll close it down.
For 20 years, largely with
They're teetering on the brink anyway. You can't put a windfall tax on them.
I've seen poverty. I've never seen anything like this. This is the worst
Whose nose is weird?
crisis since the end of rationing. The Liberal Democrats immediately would reverse the two-child cap on benefits. We'd grow the economy.
Liberal Democrats have no chance of getting in.
On a waiting list.
So
There are
you can
hundreds
have a
of
wish list as long as your arm. It won't make any
who are
difference.
currently not in work, back into work, so that they can earn money for themselves and for their families. We'd grow the skills economy, reduce friction with Europe. But
I have not,
the primary
Emma.
focus you'll have seen
Are you
from
on
Ed Davies
Twitter? Because
at
if you
work on
are,
this
send me
campaign,
it.
He is a carer first and foremost of
That doesn't
the
sound
profoundly
good.
disabled son, and carers are a real focus.
And I'm assuming this is under Tories, because under Labour, I mean, you'll be able to stub your toe and claim PIP.
30%
Oh, I don't think you will.
Food on a regular basis. These are people.
Labour will
our
want to send their
governments
money to
are
Palestine
exploiting
as
the
well.
love that they have for their family members. They're in large part unpaid, and that's why Liberal Democrats want to.
The last one,
reward
Swinney.
them an extra
Swinney has got a
£1,000
funny
year
nose.
in terms of an increase to the carers allowance. But all of this, and I listened to Douglas Rossi explaining why this is other people's fault, but everybody has been harmed by this Conservative government. Everybody has felt the cost of the reckless
That
Tory
audience
mismanagement
look
of
representative of a
finances.
country that's
And Liz Truss
95.5%
awarded
white.
Office of Budget Responsibility when she rewarded the richest people in our society with unfunded tax cuts. Everybody felt
Shut up,
about
Lorna.
mortgages in their rent payments, and that's going to
Lorna's not said much.
Right,
Has she?
we were rid of them.
Lorna Slater.
Well, I find
Oh, there she
several
is.
of the things that Douglas Ross said just then to be disingenuous.
Eh?
That 100,000 jobs figure
Eh?
is based on an American investment bank trying to win oil and
Disingenuous
gas
isn't
money
a word.
profit.
Disingenuous.
The idea that you try to
It's possibly what she
put all
meant, but
this
she's
together
Canadian, eh?
is simply not true. Working people
Yeah, they
have
say a
borne the
boot.
brunt of cuts because the Tories.
The
their austerity
Tories!
policies mean that they have been cutting
Hey there,
taxes
Doogie,
for the
what you talking
wealthiest
about?
and trying
They
to
haven't been
balance
cutting
the
tax.
books by cutting public services.
They've
and the
cut
money
nothing.
we need in Scotland,
Hold
that
on a minute.
real money we need to build
Public
better
services in
roads,
Scotland
railroads,
aren't run
hospitals.
by,
It is disingenuous of Douglas Ross to pretend that times
stop
are
saying
hard.
disingenuous.
Times are not hard.
It's
Something
not
is-
a word.
We've made out like
But anyway,
bandits in
public
Scotland.
services in
They're
Scotland are run by the SNP. They're not run by the Tories.
What the Scottish Greens would do is make sure that those super wealthy pay their fair share. We propose a 1%.
Well, they
tax-
already do.
Sorry, we propose a tax on the super wealthy, or have more than assets than 3.4 million.
Spit it
pounds,
out.
Which would
That's
raise
a punishment,
billions
though.
and billions of pounds for the Treasury.
Just punishing
Listen,
people for
invest
doing well.
in those
Right.
building schools and
You know what
hospitals, and, of
happens,
course,
okay?
in that green
You know what
transition.
happens? You know where the
Things
Scottish
that we
Chief
need to
Constable
do
lives?
to transition to the
Not
new
in
economy,
Scotland.
like
Exactly,
free bus
right?
travel for
So the
everyone
Scottish
else,
Chief
22 in
Constable
Scotland,
lives over the
put money
border
back in your pocket,
and pays English
that
tax,
net
which is
zero.
only
Lorna, the
19%
boss of
compared to
Scottish
Scottish
financial
tax, which
Sandy
is
Begbie says
20%,
Scotland is becoming a
right, for the basic
dangerous
rate.
place to be
And as you go higher, it becomes, they would just lose
In
the
Scotland,
well
we
paid.
do believe in having a fairer society. In order to pay
No,
for all
you
the good things
don't.
we have, from free
No, you
university
don't.
tuition to baby boxes, free prescriptions, that free
You
bus travel,
don't.
we
You're
know
you're
that the
fucking
wealthiest
believing
people
communism. That's what you believe in. She is an
That's-
idiot.
That's progressive. And in fact,
She's not
the
progressive.
Oh,
Greens,
she used
we
the
say
term
that can
progressive.
go further.
She's an
She's a
idiot.
communist. She's a communist.
Luxury
Oh,
taxes
is
for
she a
people who
bloke?
fly
No, I
private
can't
jets,
see that.
Carbon taxes for some of the biggest polluters. There are
If she
more
was a bloke, she'd
creative
probably
and
get more votes.
entrepreneurial ways that governments can raise that
We're
money
going
so that
to
we have that
seize the
investment
means
we
of
need.
production,
I don't want
and we're
to-
going to
Well, they've
target
already tried it, haven't they? They've nationalised the ferry company, and made a balls up of that. They've nationalised the trains and made a balls up of that.
How challenging times
Shit.
are.
Let's get some reaction from our audience live.
Hold on,
in
yeah, let's
Glasgow with
listen to
us
the
here
audience.
this evening. Are these politicians speaking your language? Are they telling you what you want to hear? The man at the back. Yeah.
Douglas Ross raises, there's been the war in Ukraine and the pandemic. They're relatively recently. You were in charge before then, but yet you still want us to believe
Who was?
jam tomorrow?
the Tories.
Thank you.
No, the
Let me
Tories weren't.
pick up a few
Well, they
voices
were.
from the audience. Lady in the
SNP's
back.
been in charge for 13 fucking years up here.
To
Yeah,
challenge
Yeah, but the Tories are in charge of the SNP. The SNP are like...
No,
they're
they're
lapdog.
not.
Yes, they
Everything's
are.
devolved.
Yeah, is it fuck?
Oh, fuck off. This is ridiculous.
Westminster can turn the tap off whenever they like.
He did say your man at the back. Anyway, I completely lost what she was saying, but I don't care.
Yes.
Hold on.
I would just like to ask John Swinney about the tax breaks for businesses that the SNP and the Greens refuse to pass on, because if you let businesses thrive, they will employ more people.
True.
You will not pass on the business rates. You claim 100,000, but there's over 1 million businesses. So it's maybe about time that you're actually honest with people and give people a break.
John Swinney?
Well, let me answer that question directly. There's over 100,000 businesses in Scotland are free of paying business rates because of the business rates policy that the Scottish Government has put in place. Now, there was a particular issue about financial support that was given to the hospitality sector by the UK Government.
Could you carry on for a second? They'll be back.
Yeah.
And we chose to invest that in the National Health Service to do all that we could.
Oh, so they took the money that was meant to be for the hospitality sector and they gave it to the NHS.
I'm not going to apologise for that choice.
My Twitter, Emma,
investment in the
I'll
National
put it
Health
in the
Service
chat.
was the most important thing to do with that money at that particular time, given the fact that Scotland has already
That's my Twitter.
generous system of business tax relief for business rates within Scotland.
Alex Cohamel?
Well, what little we know from the COVID inquiry, and I say that, John, because we're still missing large tracts of evidence from the deletion of WhatsApps by yourself and Nicola Sturgeon and other people.
Of course.
That actually, a lot of it was being made up of the hoof, and that we've heard some discussion here about business rates and the impact on small businesses. Small businesses in
Do you
the
know what?
pandemic
I find myself
more than
agreeing
almost
with a
anywhere
Lib
in the
Dem.
country, because we locked down harder and we locked down longer in this country, and sometimes without scientific reasoning behind that, sometimes just to be seem to be doing things different from Boris, and industries, particularly taxi drivers, particularly small sole trading operations, are still counting the cost.
Of course, they
They're not
deleted
getting
their
the help that
messages.
other parts of the UK are, and I think they're looking to you for answers on.
Well, all of the COVID
I'm
support
talking to the
that was
chat.
made available to us for business support in Scotland.
Yeah, sorry about
was made
that. I
available
thought there
to
was somebody at the
businesses
door,
to
but it
relieve
was
that
just somebody
burden.
banging a van door.
I think you're going into quite dangerous territory here.
Turns out that
suggesting
all of the
Scottish
money
Government
that
was doing anything other
the English
than
government,
trying
the
to
UK
protect
government
public
set
health of
aside
people
for the
in Scotland
hospitality
at a
sector,
very, very
the
dangerous
Scottish
time,
government
when
didn't
members
give
of
to the
audience
hospitality
and people
sector,
like me
siphoned off and
were
gave to the
terrified by the
NHS.
effect of
Yeah, I know.
COVID in our society.
Jesus.
We took some difficult decisions. I'm not
Scotland's
gonna
as
stand
corrupt
here
as
and say we
it's
got
as
them all
corrupt
right
as
on
Ukraine.
COVID, But what we did was look after the people of Scotland, and
we
that was
don't
central.
understand.
I don't
to
think
all
you
the decisions
did.
that we
Anna Sarwar.
Can I just take up the point the lady made about what's happening in our schools? I think John also has to be honest about the decisions he made.
Remember, this guy,
Education
Swinney's the guy
secretary,
that
shamefully
promoted
attempted to downgrade
pornographic
the exams
sex
for working class
education.
kids in this city during the pandemic. I think it's also worth highlighting that this year alone, 173 teachers have lost their jobs or places cut in this city, a decision that you made. And there's 10,000 children in Scotland in temporary accommodation with no home to call their own, and you cut the affordable homes budget by £200 million. So no lectures on austerity from you, Mr. Smith.
Let's just respond to that by looking at the
Which
comments.
part was not true?
Well, let me just go back to the source of all these arguments is the comment by Anna Sarwar's colleague in the Labour Party, in the UK Labour Party, that all funding roads lead back to London.
a question about
And the
education in
austerity
Scotland,
that we are facing in Scotland is a
Oh, there we
Follow the
go.
yellow brick road.
It's Westminster's
Follow the yellow
fault.
brick road.
Westminster never gave us the money to spend, so we had to steal it from somewhere else.
within Scotland.
Liar.
Party won the election. And he's not being straight with the public. He signed up to fiscal rules that will cut public spending by £18 billion.
Yeah, we're watching the Scottish debate, Alex, because there's nothing else on.
I agree we have to get rid of this rotten Tory government that's done so much damage to our city. So I don't know why you're so depressed about it. In 23 days' time, the Tories could be gone. If people vote Labour in this election.
But the SNP's been shockingly bad for Scotland.
Absolutely.
The Tories might be gone, but they'll be replaced by
Alexander
austerity
Cameron, we're
wheeling government
we're
of
trying to
19
make it
billion pounds
entertaining,
worth
but
of
just
cuts.
like
That's what's coming.
last week, I'm losing the will to live here.
It is hard. It's very difficult.
This evening. The hashtag is BBCDN for anyone on social media. Give us a follow as well at BBC Debate Night. Tonight we're hearing from the leaders of the 5 political parties.
Shut up.
We'll also bring you interviews with other parties after this debate this evening.
So they're going. We're going to let Alex Salmond have a little bit of say.
Anna McClintock. Anna, good evening.
Come on, Anna.
My mother, who's 93, waited 6 hours for an ambulance.
Your mother's 93?
Another 2 hours outside the hospital before she was admitted. Is our NHS broken?
Well,
Anna,
in my experience, no.
When was this and how is your mum?
Wednesday.
When I called an
Wednesday.
ambulance.
When was this? Wednesday.
Where was it? Where was it?
Story. Public services, obviously the NHS
Where was it?
Devolved to Scotland, but the
Fully.
funding for it,
Fully.
crucially...
Oh, don't give us this pish.
which is why
Because
we're
they've just admitted stealing some more money to send to the NHS.
So
Oh,
sorry
yeah,
to
yeah.
hear about the experience your mum's had.
Oh,
You've had as
Doogie,
a
shut
family.
up.
But sadly, it is replicated multiple times in Glasgow, across Scotland, in every part of the country.
Well, it's
Because
not.
of the SNP.
Yeah, but no, but that's not the case. I mean, remember when I phoned an ambulance fairly recently?
Yeah, just a couple of weeks ago. Yeah.
Yeah, it was there within 15 minutes. I was in the hospital within 30.
Because they want to be seen there. The
That's pretty good.
hospitals are then
Yeah.
overloaded, and people are then in an ambulance, literally at the door of a hospital.
Is Dougie known locally as the Mole Man or Spencer?
It does look a bit like it. We Dougie Ross.
Above and beyond, day in, day out.
And these same problems exist south of the border as well,
Yeah,
and in Wales.
And that's what we often
And
get
in Wales,
from
which is
Johnson
run by
and
Labour.
predecessors, but that
Yes.
doesn't help Anna's 93-year-old mum.
Do you know what the reason is? Is because our populations have boomed over the last decade past the point that we can handle them. That's what's happened. And it's not happened
Well,
because of breeding.
It's not just that, Ben. You've got to admit that there is a severe, there's a huge element of mismanagement in the NHS.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I mean, you've got to pay for those pianos and all the art somehow. And of course, you need someone to curate it, you know, because perish the thought that we would have poor artwork in our hospitals.
And perish the thought that the hospitals were not made up of people, but via people whose demographics are only in there because of a checkbox. You know, we need a diversity and inclusion manager. We need to tick them boxes.
Yeah,
It's also in the social care sector to get people out of hospital and recuperating at home as quickly as possible.
Anna Sarwar, Wes Streeting, Labour's health spokesman, says there will be no additional funding for the NHS without major surgery or reform involving weekend working, use of the private sector to bring down waiting lists. Is that what we're in store for here in Scotland as well?
But we've been doing that for years.
We have been doing that for years already. The amount of times that I've had an NHS procedure done by a private company.
Well, yeah, or and you go to a private hospital and it's the same consultant. He just wears a different hat.
Just wears a different hat and gets paid a lot more.
Yeah.
On what budget is set, how it operates, how it's managed, its outcomes is the responsibility of the Scottish Government. And on their watch,
It really is a corrupt
850,000
system.
Scots are stuck
I tell
on
you,
the
put
NHS.
me in charge of the NHS. I will fix it in a
Absolutely,
day.
because there's
In
been
a
no proper
day.
workforce plan, no investment in the digital innovation and technology of the future.
I literally
And
start
also
walking into,
a million
rolling into
population,
hospitals on my
we have
scooter and
50
rolling up
votes,
to
which is
offices
far
of
too
people who are not
manageable.
needed and
But I
going,
say
get
directly
out.
to Anna,
You're not getting
story
paid
is
anymore.
tragic, but sadly we hear these stories every
You
single
can make
day.
such a difference if
in
you
the
just
last few months alone,
went back to
I've
basics.
had people
Just
tell
go
me
back
how
to
they had to
basics.
Oh, it
remortgage
says you
their
have
home
to
in order
pay for subscription.
for a hip
Tell me what your
replacement because they
Twitter
had
is
to
and
wait too long
I'll
on the National Health
I'll
Service.
message
I had a
you.
mum tell me she
That's
had to
really
pay
weird.
£5,000
Oh, you can't message you if your DM's open.
I don't know.
Well, if they're not open, you can't message people with the blue tick unless you're a fucking fellow blue ticker.
And that's why.
Oh, that's fine.
I believe in the NHS.
I will
graduated
message
in
you.
this very
Just give me
hall
your at
as a
and I will
dentist.
message
My
you.
first job was in the NHS as a dentist in Paisley, one of the most deprived communities in our country.
John,
And I
were you
believe in
just
the
acting
NHS.
out what
I
you were
trust in
doing
the
just
NHS.
before this
I want to
show or
rebuild our
something?
NHS.
No.
And Labour created it in 1997, we saved it, and actually on the 5th of July, on the NHS's birthday, we will start the process of changing it again.
What are you
That's
going to do,
first
Enos?
with a cash injection coming from closing the non-dom tax loopholes, but then it's also the two-stage process of change, where we change the SNP government in 2026
non-dom
and have a
tax
focus on
loopholes.
fixing Scotland's NHS.
What's gonna
not having
pay for
one
the
in six
NHS?
Scots
Do you know
landed
I've said this before, but you do know that the wealthiest countries in the world don't tax their citizens.
To Anna, that I'm very sorry that your mum had that experience.
Oh, shut up,
That shouldn't be
sweetie.
the case.
No, you're
But I
not.
also
You're a
have to
lying
acknowledge
bastard.
that the health service is
Alexander,
under
they're
pressure
all
as a consequence
they're
of
all crazy.
the demand that's increased for the use of the health service.
They want
Also
power.
because of one of the issues
He'll get more than that if he goes door to door, Alex.
So we are unable to get people out of hospital back
He'll
into
get
the
something
community
he's not
because there aren't
intending to
staff
have.
available to provide the care packages within the community. We
Shut
have
up, my
very
God,
low
that guy's,
unemployment.
he's like an undertaker, isn't
One of the
he?
issues we're
He's a kid,
wrestling
you go to the undertakers and that's the kind of guy that you'd expect to deal with. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that your dearly beloved has passed at this very bad time for you and your family.
Well, my vision is to make sure
My
that the
vision
NHS
is to
delivers
see a good
on the
funeral
needs
for
of
you.
people within their communities
Had
and
17
does that in a
years.
continuous way. But the issues that we are wrestling
17
with
years.
are a combination of the challenges
Always
about
somebody
having enough
else's
staff
fault.
within the system. Staffing
See
levels
that
in the
little
NHS
video I made
are
about
at
Liz
record
Truss and
levels.
Rishi? It's done
Funding in the
well.
NHS is at
Yeah.
record levels. It now
I
calls
think
for
Liz would make a good
greater
porn. In fact, she could probably take that
proportion of
up.
government's budget. And as I said in the
What are you
earlier
laughing
answers,
at?
we were prepared to increase
You!
taxes on
I
higher
think she'd
earners
make a
within
good
Scotland
porn.
to make sure we
Yeah,
can
well, I think
invest
she
more
might,
in the
aye.
National Health Service.
Maybe when she was
Alice
younger.
Salmons talked about the
I'm
investment that's supported by
still
the
life in the old dog,
The
yeah.
number that I've seen for the Labour Party's proposed
Shut up,
investment
Swinny.
in the NHS.
There you go,
in the
Emma.
first year
You
in which
should
a
have a
Labour
message
government
in
will
your
be in office
inbox from
is
me.
less
I've slid
less
into your
than what the
DMs, as they
Conservative
say.
allocated to us in the last financial year. That
What?
shows you
None,
the
none.
Labour
It's
Party
just
is
enabling your
not
stalker.
committed to delivering the type of investment to end austerity, which is what is required in this country.
Alex
Far too
Cole-Hamilton.
much austerity.
Shut up,
Well,
Swinny.
Anna, I'm really sorry about your mum. And
Who is this
unfortunately,
guy?
her story is all too
I don't know this guy. I live in Scotland. I'm not, in fact, are there any Liberal SNP, MP, what do you call them? Members of Scotland, MSPs, that's what you call them.
Yeah, yeah.
Are there any Liberals in Scotland?
I don't know.
Let me check. Liberal
He's checking.
SNPs. I'm checking. We'll do this live for you people. Liberal MSPs.
I honestly think that Alex Salmond and Alba should be there over the Liberals.
So the solution
Right?
to this, I mean, 1 in 4 GP appointments are.
Why are you
actually
giving me
related to
stuff for
mental ill health.
Paisley? I
It's an
never.
absolute fact.
There's
And
no
we all
Paisley
know
in my
after
search
lockdown in
criteria.
particularly among young
I tell you,
people, that we actually have
AI
a
is
mental health
fucking up
crisis.
everything.
And if your daughter
Did I
felt
tell you?
like
I asked for a
plastered by the
picture
end of the
about
day,
a house
change
being
yourself
ransacked the
and
other
maybe
day,
join
and I got
the longest
pictures
queue
of
in
people
household
running with
So we fix
rucksacks
that
on.
by trebling something called the digital.
That's not
tax.
ransack.
What's the digital tax? So it's the tax paid by the social media giants, by Facebook, by Instagram.
Alex
by
Salmond should be
Snapchat.
there. It would
And
be
we can
more
all
fun. I
accept
think
that
you're right
actually
there.
A lot of the mental crisis in our young people is caused by the toxicity
By you!
of the ecosystem
By
created
you!
by those social media giants. We believe it's time for them to pay. And we would hypothecate, we would take that money, that trebled tax, which you see hundreds of millions of pounds.
What we're going to do,
invest
right,
it in
is we're going to
world-class
blame the
mental health
social media
services here
companies for the
in
mental
Scotland so
health
that your
problems we
children
inflicted
can
on
get
people
access
by
to
spending
healing
years
from the harm that they do.
terrifying them, and we're going to make them
I'll
pay.
come to you in a second. Bear with me. There's so many hands up in the audience. Let me hear from the lady with the red glasses, second row.
Lady with the red glasses.
Services,
4.
within this country,
We have
Scotland has
4.
more people per head of population
4 Liberal
than any other
Democrats.
Western European country. Between 25 and 50% of
We
those
have
locked up come from a
1
Gaelic
Alba
speech background. I was
and
in
1
care 50
no
years ago.
affiliation.
It is absolutely disgusting.
That
the
my
way
auntie.
Politicians I ask all of you, if you get into power, will you, within the Equality Act, allow care experienced people to be a protected characteristic within that act? Because this is shocking.
You are shocking.
Shame on the lot of you.
Yeah, thank you.
What, does she want to be a protected characteristic?
On you go.
Thank you. We've heard a number of times about free prescriptions I'm a community pharmacy owner in the south of Scotland.
Oh,
I'm
I'll bet you
genuinely
are.
worried for the future of community pharmacy. When it was COVID, there was 2 places open where you could buy food and you can get medicines. We were the only readily available healthcare service, and now it seems we don't exist. Every day, I'm seeing drug shortages, people unable to access medicines. Yet year
That's
upon
because
year,
of the
even now, we do
population
not have a contract with
boom.
the Scottish Government to be able to pay for the medicines that people need. When will this get resolved? Thank you. And how will it get resolved?
Stern face from
the lady with the
Swinney.
glasses on the third row.
Lady
Yes.
from the glasses.
I'm still here.
Yeah. Lady with the glasses.
Oh, lady with the glasses, would you please tell us what you think of all of this?
Whoa.
Directed to Mr Swinney, and I want a direct
There's no mister in that.
because Glasgow parents and Scottish parents in education are sick of you.
Is that your auntie?
No. No, that's a fortune teller that's escaped from the carnival. Look at the size of those loops on that
Hold
ear.
on a
those
minute.
ears.
Let me just get my crystal ball.
Cross my palm. Cross my palm with silver.
That is a devolved issue, but you were both are asking the question, John Swinney.
Well, it's absolutely
Right,
vital.
the
that
bollock, the
every
talking
child's needs
bollock.
within the education system are met. We
It's
are seeing a
absolutely
rising number
vital.
of,
We say words
staff
that
working
we
with
don't
additional
understand
support needs,
ourselves,
for
but
example,
we
which is
say them.
necessary
And
because
we
of the
say we're
rising
going to
presence
fix
of
things, but
additional
really,
support
we
needs
don't have
within
a
our
fucking
community.
clue.
We also want to.
It doesn't-
we're
it doesn't have a
providing,
clue.
for example, in relation to teacher numbers,
Be honest,
£145
you
million
specky
directly to local
twat!
authorities to protect teacher numbers within our
173
schools.
down.
Well, there's
Do you like the way he always tries to sound reasonable until he lost it earlier on, of course?
Hey, John.
Yeah.
If the Labour budget
If I had been the one to press record or live, you wouldn't be subject to their dystopian hate crime laws right now, but you are.
I don't care.
600. That's what the Labour Party.
I mean, what's the worst that can happen?
Hang on a second, I need to give Lorna Spencer a chance to...
What is the worst that can happen? I could get put in jail, couldn't I? So they'd have to feed me, clothe me, and provide a heated cell. It doesn't sound. In fact, it sounds slightly better than my present living conditions.
I was going to say, and probably provide you a weekly phone call to me to call into the show anyway.
I might even get the chance of sex.
Not now, Bruce, alright? Not now.
No, Lorna, as we know, is a Canadian and should go back to Canada.
Spread money further than it can possibly go, and that is because
She's been cultivating trying to talk with a Scottish twang that isn't working.
And cut again and again.
But
And
Lorna,
that's what you're going to hear.
you hear this again and again from audiences that nothing is working when it comes to public services.
Exactly.
You've been part of the government for over
Hey,
2
Lorna.
years.
Hey, good point, Stephen. She's been part of the government.
Lorna.
You will hear he'll cut taxes.
Fuck off back to Canada.
He's going to cut. Their vision is small.
answering his question.
Oil,
I'm
oil,
joking,
oil.
by the way. It's just a joke. Just a joke, people.
For the purposes of the YouTube gods, it's a joke. It's parody. This is satire. Sarcasm, even. You think?
Right, because let's face it, the vast majority of the general public don't like any of these twats.
No, we don't. I mean, nobody likes them.
That's tax on your work. It would be much better to be able to tax the.
They shouldn't be taxed at all, Lorna.
Listen to mention the I words this evening. Douglas Ross.
Why should we be taxed at all? Why do we need to pay for idiots to make things worse? We are quite capable of making things worse on our own.
Isn't their salary technically a tax for us?
Yeah, but the whole thing, I mean, government, what is the point in having a devolved government? It's just a complete waste of money.
Couldn't get taken to the local hospital because the doors were locked. I have many constituents who risk giving birth on the side of the A9 or the A96. So the problems are in rural Scotland. They are in urban Scotland. And quite frankly, on education...
So sort
I tried
it
to ask
out
the exact same
then.
question to John Swinney.
Stop
Yeah, but he-
standing
well,
at the podium talking about
John
it
Swinney was
and
education
actually
secretary in
pull your
Scotland
finger
when
out of your
Alexis
butthole.
But he's not in
and
power.
actually, I don't care which one of these twats does it, to be honest. They talk about it, they say, oh, it's so bad for you. Ah, it's so bad. have, but at least one of us has been in power here for at least the last 20 years, and it's only got fucking worse for you. But we're going to tell you how it's going to get better for you if you vote for us. Stop fucking lying.
If they stopped lying, we wouldn't have these debates.
Well,
I'm responding to the question.
This whole issue relates to the question of austerity that I've been raising during this
It relates to education, John.
Well, you're absolutely right, Douglas. It relates to education, but education's got to be paid for. There's a fixed sum of money that's available to the Scottish Government. We've expanded that. We took the tough decisions to increase tax.
You took the tough decisions to send 750k to Gaza.
Because we were so concerned about
that you were so short of money. Why did you do that?
What this election is about is the fact that at the heart of the Conservative and the Labour campaigns is a determination to keep austerity going.
Why is Scotland directly funding what ultimately is a terrorist-run government?
That is the reality of what people are faced in this election. Austerity
they won't answer that.
No, they won't.
Keeps bringing this back to you, Anna Sarwar.
Well, it is. That's the reality of it.
I'd love to get in there and ask that question, because they'd go. Because I wouldn't tell them I was going to ask that question.
John,
Ben.
next time there is if there's another debate on this campaign trail in Scotland, we'll have a look later or tomorrow. We'll try and get you a ticket to it.
Yeah.
And the point I make is this: I will not disagree with you when it comes to the state of the carnage,
or at least one of their campaign events. You go to one of their campaign events.
And the state of the public finances.
Yeah.
On that, we should have no disagreement. And therefore, in 23 days' time, the choice that people in this country have is they can wake up to 5 more years of Rishi Sunak, Liz Truss, Suella Braverman, Jacob Rees-Mogg, or we can get rid of the whole sleazy lot of them and elect a Labour government across this country so we can start that process for change. And we will inject more money.
Yes, change for the right.
But you tell me why you don't support the windfall.
Stop pretending that just because, yes, I agree, the Tories are a bad choice. Stop pretending Labour are a good choice. Please.
Well, stop pretending that government is required. Government of this level is not required.
The Institute for Government and the Joseph Rowntree Foundation that says the Labour government will have to deliver £18 billion worth of cuts in line with what the Tories are planning.
We've already gone over this ground. We've already gone over this ground.
Well, who hasn't?
Before we move on, hang on a second. Just before we move on here this evening, Douglas Ross, you mentioned your wee one. Maybe seeing a bit more of you, time-wise, moving on from now, because you're making history at the moment as the first party leader to step down during an election campaign. Why should anyone in Scotland
why is he on
vote
the
for a party
stage?
you don't even want
Because he's going to run for
Westminster.
Westminster.
One of the benefits of my decision is getting to see Alistair and James. They're 5 and 3. I've done this job now for 4 years, and one of the things I think we can all agree is it has a huge impact on our families. So whatever happens to me in
I think he's going to run for Westminster.
To be able to spend a bit more time with my
maybe he's not.
very loving
I don't think so.
family, my wife.
Well,
and
maybe he's just
boy.
giving
In
up.
terms of your question about
Maybe
why
Dougie
people
Ross
vote
is giving
Scottish
up.
Conservative, I
Yeah, but
said at
even
the very beginning,
whichever way, if he is giving
is an
up, why is he on the
to send
stage?
a very clear message.
I don't
and in
know.
key seats up and down the country,
Because we
there's an
really don't have
opportunity to
people.
send a message to John Swinney, who can't answer questions.
We don't have a
about
lot of
education
Tories
and
either,
our
do we?
young
How many
people.
Tories have we
Tries to
got?
absolve himself from blame for the situation that people are facing.
Well, we'll get 31 Tory
You are,
MPs.
John, you can shake your head as much as you want. That's what you've been doing for the last 17 years, and you're doing again tonight.
Can I
So in
just
seats up and down the country, there is an opportunity to unite behind the Scottish Conservatives to get
Why
someone
would
who's
we-
focused on the issues that really matter to
All right,
you,
you've made-
rather than
that's
independence,
you're just
which
saying your opening statement
which is
again
always
this evening.
John's
Alice
obsession.
Cole-Hamilton?
I mean, well, the audience reaction, I think, tells you everything about that exchange. I mean, this is what's been holding our politics back. Two parties who have been in
Come on, the
power
two
for
people!
far too
Come
long,
on, the two
bickering
people
about who's
clapping!
responsible for the fact that you can't see a GP at the first time of asking, the fact that many people are buying tools on Amazon to do dental work on themselves because they can't see
Yes,
an
that's
NHS
true.
dentist in their locality.
That's
The
true.
fact that there's violence in their kids' schools, which didn't used to be a thing, but is actually harming their education. The fact there's sewage in our rivers, and all we get time and again from the Conservatives and the SNP in particular is it's their fault. It's their fault. You're not buying it. I'm not buying it. The people watching tonight aren't buying it.
We have one big
And I'm not
final
buying that you can do anything about it.
this evening, and that is the future of Scotland. Our third question of the night comes from Gavin Strathern. Gavin, good evening.
Good evening, Stephen.
Evening, Gavin.
Does the probable change of UK government in the upcoming election I mean, the question of independence is off the table for the foreseeable future.
Thank you, Gavin.
Well, it should
Anna
be.
Sarwar.
Look, it's for the Scottish people to decide what the future of our country is. This election.
Really? Are you going to allow a referendum?
This election is not about independence. It's about getting rid of this rotten Tory
Not up
government
to him
that's
to
done
allow
so
a
much
referendum.
damage over the last
Idiot.
It's up to Westminster.
But let me say directly
Idiot
to those
Canadian.
in the room
Shut up.
That do support independence or have supported independence in the past. I'm being really upfront and open and honest. I don't support independence. I don't support a referendum. But I can understand why so many people across Scotland were looking for an escape route from a Tory government that they thought we couldn't get rid of, or from a Labour Party that they thought couldn't win. And that's why over the last 3 years, I have worked really hard to give you a Labour Party worthy of the name.
Salmon won't be here because Salmon's not a party leader.
And energy,
He's the leader of Alba.
persuade you to vote Labour.
Ash
so we
Regan's
can
the
get rid
leader
There
of
will be
Alba.
well be independent supporters who are about to vote Labour in this general election. What's your direct message to them?
So I would say directly, we may disagree on the final destination for Scotland, but we can all agree we need change right now and we have to get rid of this rotten Tory government. So let's go on this part of the journey together and try and change our country. And make
This
the country
debate's
work.
just
And
like,
part of the
it's
country
wrong.
for Scotland.
Because we've got MSPs talking about the general election, right? So it shouldn't be these guys, it should be the guys that are standing in Westminster that are here on this panel. Not the people that sit in the pretendy government in Holyrood.
Okay, there are two parties here supporting independence tonight. Lorna Slater from the Scottish Greens.
Well, I think you want to watch that space over there because independence is not going to be off the table. About half the people
Course
in
it
Scotland
is.
support it.
About half the people, Lorna.
Now, we can set
Guess
out a
what,
way
Lorna?
for
About
Scotland
just over half the people voted against it.
Yes, they did.
wind energy, other
What you gonna
renewable energy. I
say
used to work
about
in offshore
that?
renewables myself. So I can tell you, when we get those supply chains going, the turbine I built was built with steel from Liberty Steel in Motherwell. It was assembled in the port of Dundee. It's now
There's
fully
no
operational.
steel making plants
We
left
need
in
to
the
scale up those
UK.
supply chains and create a brilliant future for the
No,
people.
you can't. There is no
Now, I
supply
think we can
chain.
do that better as an independent
Where are you getting the steel
because
from,
we will
Lorna?
make the decisions
We
about
can't make
what
steel in the
we
UK
have.
anymore.
You said independence wasn't a red line.
You know what you need to make steel as well, don't
It's a
you?
really important issue for the Scottish people.
You need coke.
In terms, I think that
You
question
need
was asked
loads and
who
loads
we
of
would be willing to
coke.
work with. Now, as we have shown in terms of working
Where's
with
that
the
coming
SNP,
from, Lorna?
even
Because
where
we can't make
disagree on
steel.
many matters, where we
Crazy.
find
This
matters
woman's
in
nuts.
common, we would like to work together to get things done, things like tackling child poverty. But Anas, I don't think your party is going to be able to
I don't
maintain
think your
its,
party's going to
focus
be able to
on
maintain.
unionism because many people in this election might be considering voting for you who do support independence. And the question is,
Shut
you
up,
said it
Lorna.
yourself, it's for the people of Scotland
She's
to decide.
talking
So
too
will
much.
you respect our democratic
Yeah,
mandate
someone needs to
and
put-
allow us a referendum on independence? Will
They
you revoke
had
the
one.
Internal Market
You
Act that
had
overrules
one.
devolution? And will you respect the Sewell
All right, let him
Convention
answer the
that
question.
not pass laws
Sarwar.
against our will?
You had a referendum,
I
Lorna.
don't support independence. I don't support referendum, but I can understand why so many people were driven towards independence and for.
You wouldn't think he was a lawyer, would
Can
you?
I say directly
Not
about this
as many
election?
people
23 days'
were
time,
driven
we will
towards
either wake up to 5
independence
more years
as
in
were driven
Conservative or
towards
Labour
voting
government.
for
And
no
let-
independence.
There's a referendum.
There's the magic money, of course there is. Once in a generation, and that generation is still very much alive. Indeed.
Just some of the magic money.
You
And
made
you're
those
still
points
stuck.
earlier.
And you're still stuck.
magic
on an
money
NHS
tree.
making list. And I want
You've
to
made
work
those points.
together with people, regardless of what their views in the Constitution, to deliver change for them and their family. That's the right thing to do, and that's what's in the
Holy
right.
crap, these people are just... They're just insufferable, really, aren't
I
they?
don't
Yes.
support independence.
Yes,
They're
they
more
are.
insufferable than you,
2014, and I
John.
believe we've had a
Yeah,
definite
yeah, they are.
division in our
Yeah.
country.
I'm quite an
Scott
easygoing
Swinney
kind of chap,
recently
actually.
installed as SNP leader on a slogan, Unite for Independence. He's
Generally.
told us in Parliament, independence is at the heart of his government. He's
This
told us
debate
that
is pretty dire, Paul,
every
you're right.
minister in his
I
government is a
mean,
minister
I mean,
Literally.
we're doing our best, but
is going to be
there's not a lot to work with here. We don't
of
even
the
we can't
SNP's
we don't
manifesto.
even have
Nodding
toolmaker
along because
bingo.
that is the obsession of the
I'm
nationalists.
literally aging
It's not-
in front of
it's
your
not-
eyes.
It's not the NHS that we've been discussing today. It's
Oh,
not the
shut up,
education system.
Dickie.
It's
That
not
is boring.
carers. It's going to be independence above everything else, and Scotland will suffer as a result of that. We
How much
can-
long? It doesn't have long to go, does it? It's only got another 10 minutes. 8 minutes. 8 minutes, people. Hang in there.
Are you sure it's only an hour long?
Oh, it can't be longer. It can't be longer than an hour, can it?
Are you sure?
If the
Oh
SNP
God.
are beaten at this election and end
Please
their
don't
obsession
shout
with
out. Put your hands up and I will.
No, 2100.
I am about to say something I didn't think I was going to say tonight.
What's that, John?
That
8
is,
minutes.
well, it is. It's going to be. You're all going to like this. I actually agree with something that Anna Sarwar has said. Anna said it's for the people
Anna?
of Scotland to decide the future of Scotland, and that's exactly how it should be.
Well, they did. They did it.
Yeah.
The people of Scotland decided, and it wasn't you.
Decide if they wish to be independent.
Bollock.
And now let me explain why I think Scotland should be independent.
It doesn't matter.
In Scotland today,
We
want to be-
voted. We said no.
14 years of austerity.
We want to be so independent that we'll tie ourselves straight back to the European Union.
Are a product of decisions
Yeah, there's a
taken
shit fest that's happened.
all of those
Well,
decisions
mind you, having said
product
that,
of decisions taken in
given
which
the widespread
independence gives
rise
Scotland
of
the way
far
taking
right
more
across
decisions
Europe,
and designing
maybe
our
we should
future
rejoin.
in Scotland for Scotland.
I
And
mean,
that's a really
I
exciting
mean,
and
first of all,
beautiful
you really have to get creative with the definition of far right.
Yes, I know, but
But
hey,
second of all, the actual far left, you know, the real far left.
yeah, they went nuts last night,
They're,
didn't they?
they're rioting. Yeah,
Yeah.
they're rioting. They're smashing up Paris, aren't they?
Yeah, well, they're not happy, are they?
Douglas,
That's your
is that
priority.
if we
Page
don't-
one, line one of your manifesto.
If we accept a
How are they going to feel
continuation
when,
of UK government
you know,
in Scotland,
Marine Le Pen has
we are
a shot of
signing
becoming
up to
Prime
more
Minister?
austerity,
Yeah.
and that will be, and it'll be a Labour austerity replacing Tory
She does,
austerity.
though.
We've gone
And
over
that
this
will be
several
bad
times.
news for
Alex, I'll
Scotland.
come to you in a second. I want to hear from the audience, though. Lady in the back in the dungarees. Yes.
I don't much care.
Hold on. Hold on. Somebody's wearing fucking dungarees.
Dungarees and pink hair. Dungarees and pink hair.
She thought it was baby milk. Now I
Hold
want
on.
to know, is England just too scared of Scotland being independent?
You're not
What?
Scottish.
No, and the Barnett formula is what allows us to deliver public services here
The
in Scotland.
Barnett formula is baby milk.
Around
The
that
UK
area
government
don't
spends
know
more
what
money
the Barnett
here in
formula
Scotland
is.
than anywhere else. And
That's
is
because
logic,
people are
isn't it?
stupid.
And I honestly don't think most people
Jonathan
care.
agrees with as well.
Nobody
When he
gives
was
a
Finance
toss.
Secretary, he benefited from the decision of the Barnett
Oh,
formula.
she's definitely a lefty, Paul.
That hasn't helped Anna's 93-year-old mum. It isn't helping school pupils here in Glasgow or across Scotland.
Next debate night, we talk about the Barnett formula all the time. Hang on the front row down here.
Spencer, you're absolutely right, my
In
friend.
this debate is the position of the Labour Party. They're
You should
essentially
send me a
lying to the
message on the
public. You're acting
WhatsApp
as
and
if
we
you're
should
gonna be
go
the
out for
saviour
dinner.
of the British
Because that's
public,
going to
and you're
be...
gonna be exactly
I
like
mean,
the
come
Brits.
on.
You're going to continue austerity, and you're not going to do
I
any
deserve it
Oh,
after
hold on.
this.
tangible difference
What's
to
Squinty
people.
McSquinty saying?
Giving us lie after lie after lie. You're going to develop new and existing problems for the next 5 years, and I don't think anyone should.
I'm not sure if he's coming or going.
So the exchange between Douglas and John that we've just heard has characterised much of this campaign. They've talked about independence almost every day. It's been holding us back, and I'd hoped we'd maybe get through this debate without it, but I recognise we're not quite there yet. There are kids who will vote in the next.
I had something to do that I'd never ever had before.
Only this
What's that?
Only this
Well, I went to
division in our
Turkish
society.
barbers.
When I'm outdoors,
Mm.
it's not what
And I
people
had a
want.
wax.
They want to know about fast access to GPs.
A nasal
It's in
wax.
their interest to keep talking about it because it keeps their parliamentarians.
You
on
had
the
somebody
gravy
Most
train.
of those young people
And I'm
wax
sorry,
your nose.
but people-
Yeah, yeah.
but
The
this is
inside
not
of it.
salient
Yeah,
stuff.
I understand it probably
Let me
would
say
be
this.
the inside
One
of it,
the
yeah.
problems we've discussed in
He
the
goes,
previous
do you wish to have your...
on
Do you want your nose waxed? And I goes,
on health,
I don't
on
know.
public
And he's going,
services
I'd do
are
it for you.
crying out for
And I goes,
ministerial
okay, you
attention,
do
but
it.
have been starved of
And
that
it didn't hurt at
the-
all. It
the
was fine.
constitutional
Did he then charge you
debate
for
that
it?
has gripped our
Well, I think it was
politics
part of
for
the deal.
I attended a
I don't
debate
think
like
it
this in
was.
2019.
Well, the whole
I
thing
couldn't
came to
imagine
13 quid.
that 5
That's not
years
too
later,
bad.
I'd be standing
So,
here under
I'm
sanction
not
by the
complaining.
Kremlin, because of the state of the world that
No,
we're
it didn't
in.
hurt at all.
We
It was
will
just
look
he
back on this
stuck
time
2
with
sticks
a
with wax on them up my
dawning
nose, left it for
realisation that we were already
2 or 3
living in the
minutes,
early
and
days of the
then
new
went, "Are you ready?" And I
At that
goes,
time, we
"Go
need to
for it." And he
focus on
went,
building
"Ba-dum,
bridges with our nearest
ba-dum,"
neighbours,
and I went,
whether that's Europe, it's a
"C'est
little
c'est bon."
democratic to re-establish relations with our neighbours because our
C'est bon, merci s'il vous plaît.
Oui.
Directly, I'm the only one that's made specific pledges about what we would do if we elect a Labour government. Everyone else has spoken in generalities. We will deliver a genuine living wage to make work pay.
Paul says, which party will ban the sale of
Oh,
Iron Brew
right. Hold on,
Extra
hold
to
on,
under
hold on.
16s?
Enos says what? Says he's going to provide a genuine working, genuine living wage. That's guaranteed. That's guaranteed to put small businesses out of business. Yeah, it was a Turkish barber salon.
Greater energy security.
It was one of 3 that were beside each other. And I thought, what the freak is going on here?
Which one of these is the money launderer?
But yeah, I didn't know. I mean, you can't tell.
I think my views on Gaza are well known. I've been to the Gaza Strip myself to deliver aid into the Gaza Strip before I became a politician. My views are well known. I believe in a 2-state solution. I believe that Benjamin Netanyahu is committing war crimes. I believe Hamas should be separated from the Palestinian people. I believe that we need an immediate...
Yeah, well, hold on a minute. Why would you want to separate Hamas from the Palestinian people when the Palestinian people voted Hamas in?
We're running out of time.
So you either believe that democracy exists or it
I
doesn't?
completely understand both sides of the independence debate, and I get why it should...
Whoa, who ate all the pies?
To an extent, but I just think if you walk down the streets of Glasgow in some areas, there's businesses that are closing.
Oh, he ate all the pies, didn't he? I thought I was fat, but he's beat me to it.
I'm walking for lunch at my work, you can't get an appointment at a GP, you can't get an appointment at a dentist. I mean, it angers me when
See that guy with the red shirt on that just turned towards the camera? Was he in the other debate?
Read the flat before you
I don't know.
I think probably would be what I would suggest.
John Swinney.
I think he was at one of the other debates that we were at, that we televised. You know, the first
I
one.
believe in independence is because it gives us the power to address the very issues that you're talking
Oh,
about.
no, it doesn't. It won't, because you won't have any freaking money, you bollock.
We operate within...
Shut up, Swinney.
Within a fiscal environment set by the UK government, and that constrains what we are able to do. Now, we take decisions which expand the resources available. We've increased tax on higher earners to invest more in the National Health Service.
Oh, shut up.
Exactly the point that this gentleman...
You got a minute?
Time. That's it for us for this evening.
We made it!
We've helped you understand some
Thank
of the big
God we
issues
made
this
it to the
evening,
end.
Where the parties stand.
I'm
Remember,
back.
you have a week to register to
What
vote.
happened to
The
you?
BBC Live news
Dunno.
page will be getting reactions to what you've heard for the
It
rest
just
of the
unsynced.
Shut up. Unsynced. Well, we're finished anyway.
I mean, that's a way to pause it. Look at the face you've paused on him.
That's a cracker.
That is how I feel at the end of this debate. Right there.
Rattled? Not much. Well, there you go. What a waste of an hour, huh? What a waste of an hour.
However,
Go on.
People could have gone and watched the actual debate.
They could have, and how disappointing would that have been? Caption competition. Knock yourself out, guys. In fact, I'm going to take a screenshot of that and put it in a community post, I think.
Hold on.
There we are. I have it. I have it now. Right.
I have you now, as Darth Vader said to Luke Skywalker.
I have you copied. You're going to sleep now, Shalini. I'm surprised you stayed awake.
I'm not surprised because it's
it's only 9
o'clock.
It's only 9 o'clock now.
And you know what? I feel like it's 11 p.m. I do.
Do you?
I feel absolutely drained by that.
These debates are hard going, mate. They really are.
Are we? We're gonna see Toolmaker tomorrow, though.
Oh yeah. I mean that should be better. Toolmaker and Rishi.
I'm sorry, boys and girls, for what we have just subjected you to. I mean, it way worse. You could well have been watching just that debate by itself.
Yeah.
These people. What my takeaway from all of this tonight was these people are morons. They're morons. They they give you all of these buzzwords, they feed you all of these lines, and this is just politicians in general, by the way. And they say, you know, oh, this is bad, that is bad, this is terrible, when they or people that they are closely related with in a professional sense caused the issues in the first place. And then they say, we're going to fix the issues, and then they never do. They only get worse. And then you end up aged, decrepit, and cynical like myself.
There you go. What he said.
Yeah. But
So tomorrow, I think tomorrow night it's Keith and Rishi on Sky News.
It is, yeah. But if you've, enjoyed our coverage of this, then don't. It would be nice for you to leave a like. It would be nice. Just leave a like. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, because we will be back tomorrow night, and hopefully in better spirits for Keir Starmer versus Rishi Richland, Roland the Rat Sunak. But I just don't get how these people have got to the positions that they're in, because they are just
Have you ever watched a thing called In the Thick of It?
No.
Oh, you need to watch it. It's a BBC sitcom, or it's a political comedy from 2005, right? Peter Capaldi plays Dominic Cummings. It is freaking amazing. It's so funny. It is really so funny. It's definitely worth a watch.
Well, maybe. I don't have TV anymore, so...
No, you wouldn't find it on TV.
I mean, I don't even have, I've got streaming services, but I don't have any terrestrial TV or anything like that anymore.
Well, neither do I. Neither do I. Get onto the high seas, so are, my lad. It's the bay. It's the bay for me.
I tell you what, though, boys and girls, Saturday I'm going to go shoot a video. I'm going to shake it up a bit. I'm going to go shoot a video out in the wild.
Oh, that's an idea.
What?
Alex Cam. Well, I call him Alex, but I maybe shouldn't. I'm sorry if I've offended you. Tough. Anyway, Alexander Cameron says we need a Starmer Experience parody from Rimmer from Red Dwarf. Yeah, I think that's an idea.
Yeah, that would be pretty good.
Yeah, that would be quite good. Yeah, we might work on that. Right.
I'm really tired. He says, "Call me Alex if you want."
There you go.
Call me Alex if
Good
you
lad,
want.
Tom. Good lad, Tom.
What he's really saying is that you can call me whatever you want to, baby.
Shut up, Ben.
That's what he's really saying.
Shut up, Ben. Right. So say your bit, and then I'll say goodnight to these fine people.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, if you have enjoyed this show, I will rabble-rouse a bit more. Because if you've not hit the like button, I don't like you. That's a lie. I do. But if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do. And, of course, you can support us further by going to ko-fi.com/Chasing Dissent, patreon.com/Chasing Dissent, or indeed right here on YouTube, where you can become a channel member from just 99 pence a month. You can also gift channel members to the other viewers, if you so wish, from just 99 pence a month. People keep gifting me channel memberships to a channel that I'm watching at the moment, so I'll take it.
There you go.
It's nice.
Thanks very much for attending this. It's been great for you.
For you.